Today we are going to make white spray paint. White spray paint differs in the making of it a little bit from the colored paint because you can't spray it out on newspaper or white paper fabric and see the saturation of the color. And if you don't have enough color in the bottle, it won't be enough to show up on black t-shirts, navy blue t-shirts, purple, whichever dark color you choose. So I have some black felt here that I'm going to demonstrate on to show, you know, approximately when you get to enough white paint in a bottle. So take your bottle. I filled it about half full of water and eat about a third to half full of water. You could fill it with more if you wanted to make more white spray paint and keep it. It doesn't make any difference, but at least about a half a bottle. Shake up your white paint. Again, this is just white Craft Smart paint from Michaels. It's about the cheapest acrylic paint that I can buy, and that's what I use as acrylic paint, which as long as it says okay for fabric or porous on the back of the label. So pour in some paint. I try to keep my hands out of the way. I always get my hands in the way. And we're pouring in some paint. Okay. Then take your sprayer, put it in your bottle, shake it up. And keep in mind, if you washed out your sprayer from before, you're going to have water in there to begin with. And I got a little bit of things there, so I'm going to wipe that off so I don't get anything on my shirt. Okay, so shake that up. And then spray it out on the black and see how much paint you've got in there. Okay, now that seems like a fair amount. It's showing up on the black, but I don't think that's going to be enough paint. So I'm just going to put this aside again. Shake up my white and pour in some more white paint right there. Okay. Okay, put my sprayer back in. This is a fine mist sprayer. You have to use something with a fine mist on it. Otherwise you're going to get bigger sprays and stuff, more globbies and stuff. Spray it again. So you can see the difference there between the first one and the second one. You can see that there's more white paint in there. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit more because I really do like it. Even though you heat set the paint after 24 hours, it still may lighten just a little bit in the laundry. So the more paint that you can put in, the better. But of course it becomes a certain point where you can only put in so much paint and you'll have too much paint in there for the sprayer to work. So you'll find that out if the sprayer stops working. Need to add some water. Okay, now I think that's darker. You can see the difference between all three of them right there. So I'm going to stay with that third one right there. So I'll lay that aside. I'm going to take a black t-shirt here. And I'm going to put a stencil on there that I use quite a bit actually. I use it for Easter eggs. Right now I'm using it for Got Wheels because it kind of reminds me of Easter eggs, or I've used it for the sewing machine motifs because it kind of looks like tangled thread. In this case I'm using it because it kind of looks like wheels intertwined. So we have the Iron Man going on in Coeur d'Alene this weekend, so it'll be fitting for that. Okay, and line it up right there. Try to get in the middle as much as you can. Mark it. Iron the front of your shirt. Anything you can do to get your markings on there. Okay, and then we spray. And the thing with white spray when you do it, you can't always tell how much paint you have on it. Sometimes it looks kind of pixely, then it starts to dry a little bit. So your tendency is maybe to put too much paint on this stencil sometimes, but I do want to make sure that it shows up. So, and this isn't what I call an open stencil, which means there's no frame around the stencil, no square edge. So you're spraying inside the stencil as well as around the outside edge of the stencil. And it kind of looks like I need to add maybe a little bit more up at the top just to make it to look a little more even. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's all up to you. It's your design, your just your vision of what it's going to turn out like. Okay, so as we go, we never tape the stencils down. We never spray an adhesive on the back because that may make the stencil grab onto the shirt. So when you're pulling it up, you may tilt the stencil and some of the paint may run off. So you always want to pick the stencil straight up, lift it over. Ah, that is super cool. Lift it over to your stack of newspapers, wipe it off with a paper towel. You can also take it over to a sink Wash it off with soap and water. The stencils are very durable. Just depends on what you have close to you where you're working at. Okay, so we wipe that off. And there is my, kind of like my bicycle tires, my vision of it. And the design that I'll end up putting on top of here is the Got Wheels with the bike on top there. Because again, that goes along with the Iron Man. And I'll put that right in the middle. After 24 hours, you would heat set your paint, cotton setting, 30 seconds in each spot, wherever you put your paint. And I would still wait 1 week to launder. You can wear it immediately. You don't even have to wait to heat set it to wear it. But I would still wait 1 week to launder because it just gives the paint more time to cure and anything that can make your paint last longer on your shirt. But it'll go through the washer and dryer easily, time after time after time. I do hang my clothes to dry because I have found that my closet does shrink my clothes. And so I want to wear my clothes more than once. So I do hang them to dry because the dryer is the hardest on your hand-painted decorated garments. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching.